Hello students, in today's practical we are going to study the common disease causing organisms. Okay, so this experiment is nothing but the demonstration, okay, and it will be there for your as a spotting for your examination. And the total amount of marks allotted will be the 2 marks. Okay, so what exactly you are supposed to do here is usually the sample, the specimen, that is the live specimen, or the photographs or the charts or the slides will be kept. Okay, and looking at that particular specimen, you need to identify it, write its scientific name, the type of disease it causes, and some symptoms with respect to what symptoms will be visible in that particular host human. So in this experiment, we are going to study 4 specimens. Okay, so moving on to the first specimen. Okay, is Entamoeba histolytica. Okay, so Entamoeba is similar to amoeba. Okay, it is a microscopic unicellular organism having a proper nucleus. Okay, and the nucleus is slightly eccentric. Okay, it's called as eccentric because the nucleus is slightly away from the center because of the pseudopodia. Apart from that, it has many food vacuoles, but it doesn't have a contractile vacuole like how it has in amoeba. Okay, so moving on to the systematic positions. Okay, it belongs to kingdom Protista. Okay, phylum Protozoa, class Rhizopoda, and the type specimen is Entamoeba histolytica. So you should remember this word, Entamoeba histolytica. Now moving on to the diseases. Okay, so the disease it causes is termed as amoebiasis or amoebic dysentery. Okay, so amoebic dysentery in the sense it's a dysentery which will be caused because of this entamoeba. Okay, so what type of disease? Okay, so it's not a normal dysentery. It's like liquid, fluidy, liquid like condition. Okay, so it is what we call it as frequent loose mucus filled stools. Okay, so stool is nothing but a dysentery. Okay, apart from this, the host or the human is going to have an abdominal pain. Okay, so where exactly this entamoeba is going to affect? It is going to affect the intestine of a human being. Okay, so within the intestine, it is going to affect. It is going to obtain the nutrients and everything, and eventually these are the symptoms which is going to be causing. Okay, and even spasm. Okay, spasms are the involuntary contraction of the muscles. Okay, so some inward muscle contraction is going to be occurring that may lead to the severe pain, abdominal pain. Okay, so this is all about entamoeba histolytica. Next comes the Plasmodium vivax. Okay, Plasmodium vivax is another disease-causing organism which usually causes malaria for the humans. Okay, so now most of the students will be usually confused about the disease, the type of organism which is going to cause the malaria. So some of the students may feel it as a female Anopheles mosquito, which is wrong. The female Anopheles mosquito will not cause malaria. It is mere a vector. Okay, vector in the sense it is just a transport medium from an infected person to a healthy person. It is just going to carry those Plasmodium vivax from infected person to healthy person through the blood. Okay, so the disease is what you already know as malaria, but the symptoms, if you observe, the symptoms are high intermittent fever, okay, with chill. Okay, so some chilliness is going to be observed, and there will be a profuse sweating, okay, at an intervals of alternate days. Okay, so alternate days, if a person is going to have a fever, and again alternate days if the person is going to have some profuse sweating, then that person is supposed to have a malaria. Okay, so these are the symptoms of it. Okay, so now how do we identify without any symptoms? How do we identify if that person is infected with the Plasmodium or no? So when we take a blood sample, okay, so imagine this is, you can see this is a Plasmodium vivax, okay, inside, okay, and this outside is nothing but a RBC, okay, that is a red blood cell or red blood corpuscles. Okay, so now these RBCs which are present, okay, this is a microscopic view. So if you observe here, okay, if you observe the diagrammatic point, diagrammatic view, you will see that this part, okay, is a cytoplasm. Okay, that is a cytoplasm has become very slender and where it has become ring-like structure around circular structure, wherein the genetic material, that is the nucleus, it has been accumulated towards the one end, that is towards one periphery, and at the center it has a very large vacuole. Okay, so it will appear in such, it will appear like a ring-like structure. Okay, hence the term signet ring. So this is a stage which will be called as a signet ring stage. Okay, and in this signet ring stage, the Plasmodium vivax are easily identified, okay, under the microscope. Okay, so the key important terms which you are supposed to remember here is the Plasmodium vivax, that is a scientific name, that is for identification, and then the disease it causes, that is the malaria, and the symptoms, that is high intermittent fever with chill and profuse sweatings on alternative days. Moving on to the third specimen, that is roundworm. The scientific name is Ascaris lumbricoides. Okay, so Ascaris lumbricoides belong to the Animalia kingdom, the phylum Aschelminthis, class Nematoda. The type specimen is Ascaris lumbricoides. So you just remember the Ascaris lumbricoides as a type specimen. Okay, so usually these will be given in a specimen jars. Okay, it is very easily visible. Okay, almost some of the Ascaris may increase in its size up till 15 to 20 centimeters in height. Okay, or maybe 25 to 30 max. Okay, in case of female Ascaris. So if you look at the worm exhibits a sexual dimorphism. Okay, that means you can easily distinguish which one is male and which one is a female. Okay, so if you observe here, the females are longer than the males. Okay, so females are longer with the tapering end. The males are little bit shorter. Okay, and their tail is hook shaped. Okay, the tails of the male Ascaris worm, it is hook shaped, and here there will be two small needle-like structures, that is penile setae, which is meant for reproduction. It's a male reproductive structure. And in females, okay, almost like 1/4. Imagine this is the anterior part. Imagine this is the mouth region, and almost like 1/4 part, okay, of this body, there will be a pore called as gonopore, which will be a female reproductive structure. So on the basis of this, we can easily identify the male and female. Apart from this, there are many other characters which are common, like the body is unsegmented, okay, and there are longitudinal markings running throughout the body. Okay, so like this, characters are visible. So we are much more interested now in the disease and the symptoms. So we'll move on to that. The disease caused by Ascaris is Ascariasis. Okay, so the terms are very easy. Ascaris is a type specimen, and Ascariasis is a disease which is going to be caused. So this worm, it is also an intestinal parasite. Okay, so in the previous, the first specimen which you have studied, that is Entamoeba histolytica, even that is a intestinal parasite. This is also an intestinal parasite. Next, moving on to the symptoms. The symptoms, they have irregular bowels. Okay, then occasional vomiting. Okay, irregular bowels in the sense the dysentery. Okay, the anemia. Okay, these parasites, they will be continuously uptaking the nutrients from the intestine. Okay, so whatever food is digested in our stomach, okay, those ready-made food, okay, that is smaller micromolecules which are present, those are readily taken up by these Ascaris, and due to which the host person or the host human is going to face the malnutrition. Okay, so apart from this, if the Ascaris are more in number, then definitely the person may face the abdominal pains. Okay, sorry, the spelling is little typing error here. So abdominal pains. Okay, so those are the characters which is going to be mentioned. Moving on to the next specimen, the last specimen. Okay, that is a trichophyton. So trichophyton is a fungi. Okay, it belongs to the kingdom Mycota. Sorry, it's not a phylum. It is a kingdom Mycota, class Deuteromycetes. Okay, and the type specimen is Trichophyton rubrum. Okay, so whenever you observe this, so usually the photograph or a chart or a diagram is going to be kept in front of you. Okay, as a spotting. Okay, and you need to identify that particular species. Okay, so you are supposed to write the complete name. Okay, that is both the genus and species name has to be mentioned here. Okay, complete scientific name has to be mentioned. That is a Trichophyton rubrum. So what disease it causes? So the disease here is ringworm disease. Okay, so you don't get confused between a roundworm and a ringworm. So roundworm is it's nothing but a ascaris. Okay, but the ringworm, it's a disease which is caused by Trichophyton rubrum. Okay, so till this third specimen. Okay, all the three specimens which you have studied is a endoparasite. Endoparasite in the sense the parasites which is affecting inside the body of a human host. Okay, but this Trichophyton, it is an ectoparasite. It is going to attack the host, okay, from the outside, and it is going to feed on the keratin of the skin. Okay, so now that is keratin protein of a skin. So the symptoms, what are they going to be visible? Okay, so the affected areas are going to show the round markings. Okay, a ring-like structure markings are going to be present. Hence the term ringworm disease. Okay, so the symptoms are the infected areas of the skin is itchy. It is going to be red and raised, little bit raised, and scaly patches are going to be observed. That means compared to your normal skin, those areas will be little coarse, little hard, little rough and scaly like. Okay, the hyphae, if you observe, that is fungal hyphae on the skin. Okay, towards the periphery there will be younger colony, towards the center there will be older colony. Okay, so towards the younger colonies which are present towards the periphery, they are almost reddish in color. Okay, and they are very much distinct and like a proper ring has been observed. Okay, hence the term ringworm disease. Okay, now these hyphae, okay, they have been placed under class Deuteromycetes because they lack the sexual life cycle. Okay, so asexually they reproduce by conidia. Okay, conidia are of two types. One is smaller in size called as microconidia. Another is larger in size called as macroconidia. So these are the four specimens which you will be studying in the practicals. Okay, so this is all about it. Okay, so whenever these specimens are being asked, okay, the question will be asked as identify the given specimen E. Okay, and give its disease and symptoms. Okay, so this is what will be asked. So we'll stop here. Thank you.